I'm in the process of wiping down our cast iron because we don't use this nice large pot very often, but it is used. I just had to think, this is one we got at an auction that was in really poor condition that we refurbished. And just because I know there's some cast iron aficionados out there, this is, well, so well seasoned. I know it's an 8-inch, but I can't read what the actual maker of it is anymore. I know that it is not a Griswold, which everyone always talks about. They want a Griswold, and I just know it was a big, heavy cast iron pot that is pre-sanded inside, that I had to re-season, that has been re-seasoned. I like my cast iron. I love my cast iron almost as much as I love my wife, but I love my wife just a little bit more than my cast iron. I know this is an older cast iron because it is not stamped with Made in the USA. I can't remember the information on it right now, but I will try in the future, because the only way I can get more information on it other than it's an 8-inch stock pot is if I re-seasoned or re-cleaned it and re-seasoned it. I don't want to do that because it's cast iron. If it doesn't need it, don't do it. Don't use soap on cast iron. Please don't use soap on cast iron. It's a good way to kill it. So, with that being said, we are in the midst of an experiment today that started about, when did it start? The 7th would have been 10 days to yesterday. So for 10 days now, we have had a small bear roast in this pot of brine, trying to make a corned bear. Kind of like corned beef, but only we used bear to make it. Sitting in the refrigerator, I'm about to pour off the liquid and we're going to cook it for dinner tonight. So, it's an experiment. It may come out as corned beef, it may come out as pickled bear. We'll let you know, but it is bear meat. So, first impressions, it still looks like bear. It's definitely cold. Go ahead and clean off some of these. We'll give this a good rinsing. Oh, you should smell it. We didn't trim the fat or anything on it. We literally pulled it out of the paper. This is how the butcher sent it to us. We probably should have trimmed the fat, I know, but we're not going to. I'm going to transfer this to the pot. So, yeah, we might need to go to a bigger pot, because I got to cover it in water.
No, I think that's perfect.
Maybe when we go with all the vegetables and everything too?
I'm not going to use as much vegetable, but that's perfect because when it starts cooking, it's going to shrink.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So, we're dealing with bear. Anytime you touch the raw meat or any of the raw product, wash.
Why? What are some of the diseases we can get from undercooked bear meat?
Get to that, but the big one that everyone worries about, because a bear is a omnivore. It is like most humans. I say most because not all humans are omnivores anymore. There's vegans, pesco-vegetarians, vegetarians. So, bear is like most people. Bear is an omnivore. So, and in a lot of aspects, it's a opportunistic eater. It will eat berries, it will eat nuts, it will eat corn, it will eat dead carcasses if it comes across it. Because of that, the biggest fear with bear, and why you want to make sure that it is thoroughly cooked, is trichinosis. There is a lot of carnivores, not all of them have it, but as a safety factor, kind of like chicken, you don't eat undercooked chicken because of salmonella. You don't eat undercooked bear because of trichinosis. And if I'm mispronouncing that, I will put the correct pronunciation in the link below. But continuing with our recipe here, we've been curing it for 10 days in the refrigerator in a brine solution, and we're going to go ahead and cook it today, which this is a little over a 3-pound roast, and we're going to do 55 minutes per pound plus a little extra. So if we go 55 minutes per pound, that means that this roast would take approximately 2 hours and 45 minutes. We're going to cook it for 3 hours. One of the things with corned beef, they usually come with a seasoning packet. Well, the seasoning packet is basically pickling spice. This is what we're using as standard pickling spice. Hope you can see that. It's McCormick, off the shelf, non-GMO, and we're going to, depending on which recipe you follow, it says a couple teaspoons, so I have a teaspoon, and just for spits and giggles, we're going to add 1 teaspoon per pound of meat. So it's about 3 pounds of meat, so we'll add 1 teaspoon each. 3 for 3. So with that there, now we get to add the fun part, water. I'm going to add enough water to go ahead and cover this entire roast. And we are covered. With that, we're going to go ahead and fire up the stove and go on high. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, we're going to back it down and simmer it for about 55 minutes per pound. So it's going to be a little over 3 hours because, a little over 3 hours because this is a 3 pound and some change roast. I think it was 3 pounds 6 ounces before we brined it. I don't know what it weighs after we brined it, but we're going to go ahead and cook it for at least 3 hours, and then we're going to throw the vegetables in. So BAM! So here we are 3 hours later. We have a lovely corned bear here. We'll let you know how it tastes. We're going to slice into it here in a minute and try it. But besides that, we ended up with this lovely stock pot of potatoes and a little bit of celery and a bunch of carrots. The only thing that isn't harvested here is the seasonings and the potatoes. Everything else we've done here on the homestead. And we're not going to let it go to waste. We're not going to pour it. We're going to jar it up, and we're going to have soup stock for days, weeks, or even months in some cases if we can get it to seal or vacuum seal well. So stay tuned. We'll let you know how it tastes. And we do have a special guest. My sister's in the house tonight, so we will get a well, I would say unbiased opinion, but it is my sister, so we'll get her opinion, and you can judge if it's unbiased or not.
Don't worry, I won't be biased.
We got the first couple slices off, and it pulls right off just like corned beef, and a little bit spicy. You can taste the spices in it, but Diana's had some, and you think?
Oh my gosh, it's lovely. It tastes like real corned beef.
It's really good. I like it better than regular corned beef.
And don't forget, this is
homemade.
Bear and homemade.
Where did you get the bear from?
On our property during hunting season last year. No special cut of meat. This is just a roast that we had off the bear.
First day of bear season, he shot over a 500-pound bear, 300 yards from his property. Not during hunting season. First day of bear season.
300 feet from the house.
Sorry, 300 feet from the house on the first day of open season. I didn't even get a chance to go hunting.
Ready?
Remember how much we paid for that slicer and where we got it from?
We were at the auction, and I was actually just discussing this with Lynn. We were at the auction, and they had this come up. We still have the original rival box for this.
I'll get to the box in a second.
Yeah, this is, I don't see...
I'll get to the box.
It is a model number 65301. Oh, no, that's... Sedalia, Missouri, 65301. Model 103 V/2. If I had to guess, this was a 1970s food slicer. We got it at auction for a grand total of about $15 in the original box. Sorry, it's good.
Yeah, look at the box. It's really old. Looks like a 1970 box for real. I was skeptical at first, but then they said brand new, so I said yes, let's get it. It's good. Alright, time to eat.
It went well. Diana's flossing right now. I got anything in my teeth. It was good though.